Hello and welcome along to Greyhound Gold. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome in my co-host for this week, the King of the Castle, Hayden King. How do you do, Hayden?
Very well, Shorty. It's my pleasure to be alongside you. Great to team up with you, and hopefully we can find some winners for the weekend.
We'll certainly be looking to do that. Before that, though, let's go back to our run of the week from last week. It was the free-for-all on Saturday night over the 520 metres, and Crumble Manelli back in the West doing what it does best. That's hooning out of the boxes straight to the top here. Firecloud begins well from box number 4, and we see No Limit Needed also starting to work into it there in third spot. Down the back, and more of the same from Crumble Manelli, serving it up front on the arm. Firecloud starting to get that little bit closer in the run. No Limit Needed still there in third as they turn for home. Crumble Manelli starting to get a little wary. But Firecloud runs out of time, and it's far too good. Again, Crumble Manelli, yet another victory at the Cannington circuit. Firecloud good in defeat, and No Limit Needed back in third. Tremendous to see this dog back in WA. Crumble Manelli for Dave Hobby, running 29 and 90 there on Saturday night. Hayden, I don't think it'll be the last time we see Crumble Manelli in the winners list.
No, and it's important that we see him back at the races. That's the best thing, and in good style. He momentarily looked a threat there, Firecloud, approaching the home turn, but we know strength isn't his best attribute, so Crumble had to dig into the reserves, and he'll take fitness and a lot of benefit from that outing. So hopefully we can see him put together a few runs in quick succession and see him back to his best.
Indeed. Let's get down to the business of finding some winners for Friday night. My best bet on the card, race 4, number 1, Danny Heffernan. Gee, this dog was impressive last Friday night. Moves to box number 1 here. Going to get every possibility you'd expect with a similar getaway to boot up, punch hard, hold the rail, and from there be really hard to defeat. So Danny Heffernan, the best on the card. Looking for a bit of value deeper into the card, race 10, number 5, Turk's Dream. On the downgrade, this dog's been racing pretty well in free-for-all ranks. Gets in nicely here on the DG, and I think with a safe getaway from box number 5, can spear out, sit in the top couple, and running around that sort of 16 flat range, I think might be just about good enough to get away with this. So best bet, we'll stick there early on in the program with Danny Heffernan, and then later in the mix there with a Turk's Dream. Over to you, mate. Who you liking?
I like Zonti a lot. I tell you what, if he was drawn box number 8, I'd be betting the house here. Box number 1, oftentimes when you have these wide dogs in box number 1, I don't mind it because you get that room to your inside and you can hold up, and then you can cause a bit of carnage for the ones outside you, even if you have to. So drawn box number 1, all he has to do is muster up and be competitive there in the early stages, and he'll just zing them for early speed through the first 100, 150. We saw him to dazzling effect last time out here at Cannington from box number 8. We know he's a very smart puppy when he's on song. So race 7, number 1, Zonti, is my best. And my value, race 2, number 5, Scientist. I was pretty keen on this dog when he won at Northam a few runs ago, and he's held that form to a reasonable extent in his couple of runs since, with a 4th and a 5th. I think he's going okay, and I can see him bobbing up in a race like this. It's a 5-6 on Friday, so Scientist is the way I'm going there, race 2, number 5.
Yeah, it's been pretty adaptable dog. Scientist moving from Northam back to Cannington, and continues to race well. A bit of value from our man Hayden King. Let's switch our focus to Saturday night. Headquarters here at Cannington. Best bet on the card for me. We have to wait till late, but I think it'll be worth waiting for. Race 12, number 1, Inside Scoop. This dog coming off a personal best performance there on Saturday night. Gee, it's got a big motor. Not always brilliant early on in its races, but given room to wind up, Inside Scoop really does just zoom into its events, and this looks quite suitable, I thought. Race 12, number 1, Inside Scoop. And looking for a bit of value, race 9, number 8, Dandelup Blazer. Now, it runs into 2 incredibly talented Manelli dogs in this particular event, but it's going to get room to zoom out wide in the Fairy Floss. It's got a real turn of foot, this dog. We saw it run in the 29.70s only a couple of starts ago, and with nothing outside to put any pressure on. I thought Dandelup Blazer could well be the dog zooming around them, and sitting in a forward spot would take a fair bit of stopping. So I'll go race 12, number 8 as my race 12, number 1, Inside Scoop as my key play, and the value race 9, number 8 in Dandelup Blazer, my 2 for Saturday night. Hayden, over to you. Who are you teaming up with on Saturday night?
I like Raised. Race 10, number 2. He resumed well, although he was back in second last place. It was a small field, and he was only a few lengths off Crumble Manelli in that race we referenced earlier. We know he's a very strong stayer. He does his best work at the end of 520 metres. I'd love to see him at 600, but getting those stepping stones towards 600 is important. And on Saturday, I can see him balancing up just behind the pack. We know he won't be involved from an early stage, but if he's sitting close enough, look out, he'll be thundering home. Race 10, number 2 raised. And for value, race 6, number 1, Lady Dior. I know she did have her chance last week. She was hunting up, looking the winner, but she's so consistent. She's going to bob up and win one of these from box number 1. It looks like a good setup for her again, and she'll be pretty hard to beat. Each way, I think she's a pretty safe bet. So race 6, number 1, Lady Dior.
Beautifully done, Hayden. There we have it, the thoughts of Hayden King for Friday and Saturday night. A big couple of nights of chasing. If you're looking for some entertainment this upcoming weekend, give the team here at Greyhounds WA a call. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, it's all happening. The best food and beverage team in the business. Get your backside, trackside, as they say. Hayden, tremendous teaming up with you. Let's hope there's a stack of winners amongst them.
Well, I hope it's not the last time I'm teaming up with you, Shorty.
I'm sure there'll be much more to come. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much as always for your company. Make sure you tuned in again this time next week for our next edition of Greyhound Gold.